Virgo, the perfectionist, the pragmatist and the surprisingly passionate. Virgo, the sign of intelligence, precision, and always having a plan. These are the problem solvers of the zodiac, the ones who notice everything and aren't afraid to let you know about it. If you've ever been on the receiving end of a Virgo's helpful critique, you know what I'm talking about. Ruled by Mercury, Virgos are highly intelligent, naturally curious, and always busy. They thrive on work, hobbies, and anything that keeps their sharp mind engaged. But while they love analyzing others, they aren't as comfortable opening up about their own feelings. Emotions, messy. Virgos would much rather fix a problem than talk about it. The Virgo personality, clever, caring and just a little critical. Virgos are walking encyclopedias, interested in everything and often possessing highly specialized knowledge. They're great with their hands, whether it's building something, fixing a gadget, or creating a masterpiece in the kitchen. But let's address the elephant in the room. Virgos can be nitpicky. They have extremely high standards, and if you don't measure up, they will let you know. This can drive colleagues, friends, and especially partners up the wall. But here's the thing, Virgos don't criticize to be cruel. They genuinely want to help. If they didn't care, they wouldn't bother. They're naturally adaptable and willing to fit in with different situations, but they must remember to look after themselves, too. Virgos have a tendency to over-sacrifice, bending over backwards to help others while neglecting their own needs. Despite their reputation for being analytical, Virgos have fantastic senses of humor. They're witty, observant, and can deliver a sarcastic one-liner that leaves the whole room in stitches. Love and relationships, reserved, loyal and surprisingly passionate. Virgos aren't ones for mushy displays of affection. They prefer to show their love through actions rather than words, whether it's remembering how you take your coffee or making sure your car is always running smoothly. Physical touch. They're selective. They'll only get close to very special people, and over-the-top romance makes them cringe. But don't be fooled, underneath that cool, composed exterior, Virgos are very passionate. They may not be the most affectionate sign, but when it comes to the bedroom, they use intimacy as a powerful way to express their love. Many Virgos grow up feeling heavily criticized or overlooked, which makes them incredibly self-critical as adults. Unfortunately, this can make them hypercritical of others, too. A Virgo in love wants things just right, and they'll point out every tiny flaw until they get it. If you can handle their high standards, though, they're some of the most loyal and devoted partners you'll ever find. They take friendships slowly, but once they trust someone, they're the kindest, most loyal companions you could ask for. They might not be the loudest in the room, but they see everything, and their quiet wisdom is priceless. Virgo in marriage, loyal, logical and occasionally lacking in romance. Virgos don't divorce very often, not because they're hopeless romantics, but because they're practical. They put a lot of thought into choosing a partner, and they expect their marriage to work. However, if they do end up in a divorce, they're often so disenchanted with love that they never remarry. Virgo men, solid, dependable, and great family men, but sometimes a little too predictable. If the relationship starts to feel boring, trouble can brew. Virgo women, excellent wives and mothers, often treating home and family as a full-time career. But they do have a tendency to complain. Just a bit. Virgos trust people only so far, and once that trust is broken, it's almost impossible to rebuild. Best lovers for Virgo, security over sparks. Virgos are naturally selective. They have high standards and won't settle for just anyone. They can also be a little insecure, so they need a partner who makes them feel safe. Their best match. Cancer. Emotional, affectionate, and deeply nurturing, Cancer gives Virgo the security and tenderness they crave. Cancer's warm, loving nature helps Virgo feel truly appreciated. Their worst match. Leo. Leo's fiery confidence and constant need for praise will exhaust Virgo. Virgo is all about constructive criticism, and Leo, they hate being criticized. This pair is a disaster waiting to happen. The perfect gifts for Virgo. If you're shopping for a Virgo, go for something practical and thoughtful. They hate clutter and will never appreciate something useless. Pets, a Siamese cat, clean, intelligent, and loyal, just like Virgo. Clothing, earthy tones like violet, blue, brown, and green suit them best. Jewelry, topaz and agates, classic, understated, and full of depth. Final thoughts on Virgo. Virgos are intelligent, practical, and incredibly hard-working. They might seem reserved, but beneath their quiet exterior is a deeply caring heart. Yes, they can be critical, but that's only because they believe in excellence, and they want the best for the people they love. If you're lucky enough to have a Virgo in your life, just remember, they might not always say how much they care, but they'll show it in a million thoughtful ways. And if they do criticize you, take it as a compliment, it means they actually care. By Kerry Culkins.